the AI is building itself. The AI is recursively self-improving.
This is an inflection point. This is a moment in time that the world just changed because of this.
Okay. The AI now is building the AI itself, not helping to build it, actually building it. Anthropic say more than 80% of their code is now written by their own AI, by Claude. And if you run a business, here's the part that actually matters to you. When execution gets so cheap, your mode moves. Your software becomes less defensible. Your output less defensible. Even your hours less defensible. And I call this the execution line. Below it, AI eating the work. Above it, that is where the value is moving. So for me, the real question is not if AI is changing businesses, of course is changing it. The real question is, what part of your company actually still valuable when the machine can actually build the machine? And this is what I want to work out today from first principle. And by the end, I will give you the 5 moves I will make right now if I was running a company through this shift. So first of all, I want to analyze, is this actually real or is high? Let's look at the numbers because the labs wrote them down themselves.
AI is already accelerating development of AI itself, not theoretically, not in the lab someplace. It's happening. Right now inside Anthropic, more than 80% of the code merged into their code base is written by Claude. Their engineers are shipping 8x as much code per quarter as they were, just a year back. Claude Opus 4.6 can now handle tasks that take a skilled human 12 hours. A year ago, it could handle 4 minutes. If the trend holds, Anthropic is saying that by the end of 2027, Claude will be able to do week-long tasks on its own. And here's the stunning news. After you put all this data together, after the trajectory charts, a company that's about to IPO for $1 trillion with 640% user growth is causing a stir by calling for a temporary pause on global frontier AI.
Look at this. 2 years ago, the best model was independently able to do 4 minutes of real work on its own. A year later, 90 minutes. And this year, 12 hours. We are really close to the exponential. And the length of work it can do on its own is doubling every 4 months. Used to be every 7. So this is not a tool getting a bit better. It's more like a junior becoming a senior, but in months, no years.
2 quotes here that came from internal employee quotes at Anthropic. One engineer says, "It's been 5 months since I last wrote any code myself." Another says, "On days where everything works well, I can't help but think nothing I do matters."
5 months. That is how long it has been since one of their own engineer wrote his own code. The people closest to this are not debating if this is coming. They are telling us how it actually feels to be inside of it. But here's the things that almost every founders get wrong about this. And this is not about the technology. And this is how our brain is wired and how our brain perceives change and the exponential curve.
If I take 30 linear steps, that's about 75 feet. If I take 30 exponential steps where they're growing, that's 500,000 miles, enough to go to the moon and back. And that's the part of the thinking.
About 1 billion,
Yeah. So it's about 1 billion. So people don't have that thinking process. Is that what's really been the predominant tool for you to be able to predict so effectively?
Absolutely. And we're now at a point where it's very sharp.
Kurzweil's point is simple. We feel progress in a straight line, 30 steps, about 75 feet. We can easily picture that. But AI and technology is not moving in a straight line. It's doubling. And 30 doubling steps is the moon and back. We have been on the flat part of the curve for years. So this is why we couldn't feel it and perceive it. It felt slow. It felt manageable. So every time it get a little bit better, we make an adjustment. We adjust to it. And here is where is the trap. The people that they are building this AI model, they are thinking in doublings. And most of us are thinking in steps. That's the gap. That is where most businesses get trapped. They couldn't feel the exponential curve and measure for the exponential outcome that is coming. So let's go back to the execution line, because honestly, this is the core of the whole video. Below the line, writing the code, making the asset, doing the task, that is the part that is going almost to zero. Above the line, deciding what is worth building in the first place, knowing which result to trust, taste, judgment, direction, strategy, the relationship, the distribution, the data that only you have. And Anthropic say it themselves. The only things that AI cannot do well is taste. We maybe should do a taste API. Knowing what actually matters, that is the last human job inside the building. And is exactly the same line running through your business right now. And there is one line that I can't stop thinking about. A 100-person company can now do the work of 1,000 because every person sits on top of a layer of agent. And as a founder, that is frightening and exciting at the same time. Frightening because our competitors with 10 people can do the work of 100. Exciting because so you can do as well if you move first.
Well, you're not going to be replaced by an AI. You'll be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI, I would imagine, wouldn't you?
I agree.
So what kind of business actually survive in this huge transformation that AI is bringing to our society? Not the one with the best software. When anyone can rebuild your software in a weekend, the software is not the moat anymore. For me, it comes down to three things the AI cannot copy in a day. One, your data, not data in general, your customer history, your operating processes, the outcome you have actually seen, the workflow stuff that only exists inside your company. Two, distribution, your audience, your list, the trust, the partnership. Distribution was always the hard part. Now it's basically everything. Three, judgment, deciding what to build, what to ignore, what risk to take. The calls a model still cannot make for you. Everything else is becoming a commodity. And honestly, if your whole business is execution, there is no mode. That is a clock running down.
Back to Amdahl's law, anytime you have a chain of events in a manufacturing process or any kind of process, if you make all of them 10 times faster except for one, the entire thing doesn't get 10 times faster. The bottleneck entirely moves to that one. And what we're seeing with AI automation is incredible gains. 80% of the code now written by AI, but that last 20% is still a bottleneck. And so that's creating more jobs than it's destroying. The bottlenecks are moving.
And here's the part that most headlines skip. Gartner looked at a company rolling out AI this year. 80% of them cut staff, but the cut had almost no connection to whether the AI actually worked. The ones who won did not just replace people, they made their people more powerful. So the real question is not how many people you cut. The question is, how do you put one agent under every role? How do you effectively leverage AI agent in every role? Now, there is one more thing. The question, even the people building AI are afraid of it. And it also change how you should play all of this. Give me 1 second, quick one. If you are building your mode through content, Newsletterly turns a blank page into a curated newsletter in minutes. Lifetime deal in the description. Buy once, own it forever. All right, back to Dario, because this is the part I keep thinking about. So Anthropic, the lab that is actually winning at the moment, also said this: it would be good for the world to have a button to slow down the AI development, not to stop. The option to pause so that safety and society can catch up. Think about that. The team is in front of it is asking for a break.
I think we're building it. The onus is on us, right? I think the government has a role in setting standards, in helping us identify and track down threats. So the government has to do its part as well, and I think the government is starting to do its part. But the onus primarily falls on us.
But here is the honest problem. A slowdown only works if everyone slows down together. If one lab pauses on its own, that does not make the world safer. It just changes who get there first. So for you, the founder, should we slow down is not really a moral question. It is a strategic one. Well, in your business, do you choose to keep human? And what do you let run at the speed of the machine? Because that decision, not the technology, it will separate people from who survives and the people that get replaced. So who survives? Not the best software. The people who own the data, the distribution, the judgment, the one who made their team more powerful instead of just cutting it. The founders who move above the execution line before they were forced to. The self-improvement era does not kill businesses. It kills businesses that were only ever execution. So here are the 5 moves I will make right now before the curve go vertical. 1. Audit what is below the execution line. Be honest this week. List the part of your businesses that are pure execution. The producing, the admin, the work the AI can already do, the 80%. That list is your exposed line and is also your roadmap for what to move above it. Put one agent under every role. Don't wait for the competitor who already has. Go role by role and give them, every person, a layer of agents underneath them. So your 10 people do the work of 100. The Gartner data is clear. The winner made their people more powerful. They did not just cut them. Turn messy internal knowledge into proprietary data. The moat is the data only you have. Your customer history, your procedure, the outcomes you have seen, most of it is sitting in people's head. An old document. Capture it, structure it, own it. That becomes the thing nobody can rebuild in a weekend. 4. Build the distribution before you need it. When anyone can build the product, the audience is the advantage. The list, the trust, the relationship. Distribution was always the hard part. Now is the whole game. So start building it today while it's still cheap. 5. Decide the human line before the market decided for you. Choose the judgment, the taste, the relationship you refuse to automate on purpose now. Because if you don't draw that line now, the market will draw it for you. And that line is your defensibility when everyone else automates everything. If this was useful, like the video, subscribe if you're not, and tell me in the comment which of these 5 moves is closest to where your business is right now. And if you want the written newsletter every week, the full breakdown goes out in my newsletter every week, plus a free AI native company playbook for founders going to my subscriber really soon. So follow this page because something really exciting is coming. The link is below. The curve is going vertical either way. Better to be on top of those agents than underneath them. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.